Hey everybody, John Addison here, and I wanted to record a message today because of the crazy world we're in right now. I mean, unbelievable. Back when we were all celebrating the holidays and Christmas, who could have imagined what has happened in the world since then? First thing I want to say for anyone who is listening to this is please listen to the medical professionals. I know I am social distancing. I never use this much Perel or soap in my life. And stay safe, stay away. Let's try our best to help the powers that be to flatten the curve so we don't overwhelm our medical system. I mean, please, this is a time to not act brave, to not act like, oh my Lord, they don't know what they're talking about. This is a time to listen, take it seriously, but don't panic. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, to my friends that follow stuff that I do, and friends that I've had for years, and some new friends of the last few years. I want to talk to you today about fear and courage. Look, let's be honest, we're all afraid. I mean, I'm afraid. I mean, this is crazy. Never could have imagined it. Acting like, oh, I'm not afraid. Well, then if you're not afraid a little bit, let me tell you what, you're ignoring and you're not paying attention to what's going on. Fear is natural, but courage is critical. You probably can see behind me, in my office here, the bust of Sir Winston Churchill. Anyone that's followed me forever knows that he is a person that I've read his books, read about him constantly. He's been an inspiration to me as I've tried to, in my own little humble way, develop leadership. And, one of his sayings was, fear is a reaction, courage is a decision. And another very important quote he had, or he said in a speech one time, is, courage is rightly esteemed the first of human qualities, because it is the quality which guarantees all others. And that's the truth. You can let fear and uncertainty consume and devour you. It can eat you up to where, it's not the coronavirus that destroys you, it is your fears and all of those things. You in life, one of the things that is truth is the future is uncertain. It is not given to us mortals to understand what the future holds. I mean, if anything this proves, it proves that. Most of the people I know in business, January and February this year, record months, best it's ever been. And then uncertainty and change hits you, and the future becomes uncertain. So I just want to give you a handful of points, and then I want to talk a little bit to people that maybe have a small business or you have your own business. I think it's very important to focus on what's good. The reality is, and I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know what all's going to happen over the next little bit. While I'm recording, there's probably things happening. But the reality is, we will make it through this. There is a future. There are days coming when things are brighter. I remember after 9/11, I was fortunate enough at that time, Rick and I were co-CEOs of Primerica, and I was leading our organization through that time. And everybody, the world is different, everything. And then within a few years, honestly, which probably this is a good and not good thing, is people almost forgot about it. I mean, it's something people celebrate once a year, which is a shame. It was a life-changing event in our country. But things will get better. Focus on what's good. I mean, honestly, listen to what people are telling you. Don't go in a cave and not listen to anything people are saying, but don't sit, trapped in your home and dwell and watch the news all day long. Okay, the other day when this first started a couple of days, staying home started a few days ago, I, turned on several episodes of the Andy Griffith Show, watched Looney Tunes on Boomerang. I watched the Roadrunner and, the Roadrunner and the Coyote, and watched Bugs and Tweety and Daffy and all those like I was still 6 years old on Saturday morning, because I just wanted to laugh. I wanted to just stare at something other than what was going on. The second thing is be nice to people. I know, we all have to go out and get something or whatever. Don't just be a rude, I don't care about anybody but me person right now. People need someone to smile. I was, picking up some things, social distance and stuff at the grocery store the other day, and there was a lady there, and I smiled from my appropriate distance and said, how are you today? And she said, thank you so much. That made my day to actually see another person smile. Be nice. My mom used to always say, it's a Southern saying, when you go outside, play pretty. Okay, play pretty. Be nice. Be on your best you can be. And take care of other people. Take care of people. I guarantee you, every one of you has people in your life that are older, that you don't call enough, that have been on your, when I get around to it, I'm going to check on them. Check on them. Touch base with people. See, let me give you my hope through this time. How many of you have either said or heard someone say, we're more divided than we've ever been? I've never seen it like this. People are so divided. There's right, there's left, there's blue, there's red, there's conservative, there's progressive, and we all hate each other, and we use our little Twitter wars or whatever kind of social media stuff people have, and we attack. And the easiest thing is have some goofy, pretty boy 101 and then say crap about people. That's all I've heard for the last few years, and in many ways it's true. My prayer is that somehow we come together a little bit now. This is a time where, guess what? What we learned is all the things you think are the most important things in the world can change just like that. And suddenly it's not what you're worried about. I remember in 2006 when I had my stroke, we were, dealing with a lot of things in the company and all that stuff. And the next thing I knew, when you're in intensive care and things are beeping and you're going, I hope that sounds good, the things you were worried about yesterday evaporate. I guarantee you there's a bunch of you right now that whatever problems, and I guarantee you had a bunch of them you were dwelling on in December, don't exist right now. So let's realize none of us have all the answers. None of us are imbued with, omniscient understanding of everything. None of us are that smart. Let's look for what's good in each other and common in each other, and use this as an opportunity to come together. Be human. Be humble. Take care of your neighbors. And focus on what's really important. I want to talk for a second to all of you out there that maybe have a small business, or you have a business and you're like, oh Lord, what do I do? Starting in about 2006, Rick Williams, my partner, he and I were co-CEOs of Primerica. We're trying like crazy to get our company independent and out of Citigroup because of just a lot of changes that had happened in the world and had happened at Citi, and we were fighting like crazy. And then the financial collapse hit, and it was, for us and for much of the world, but for really the people that were a part of our organization, a financial disaster. How most of our management team had been paid for the 90s and the early 2000s, the majority of it was in Citigroup stock. And the stock collapsed. It went from, $58, $60 a share to 50 cents. They did a reverse 10 for 1 now, with it going way back down with what's happened in the market now. It's like in the 30s or low 40s, and that's really, for all of us, any of us that kept any of it, that's like $3 a share. We're in the middle in New York of trying to save our business, trying to save our company. Personally, you're like, oh my God, I don't even want to look at this. And you are fighting like crazy. And everywhere we turned, we ran into a brick wall, something that just said it can't be done. The number of times we almost threw in the towel was immense, because we're humans. We were scared. But we knew we were fighting for our friends and for the people we had been with together over 30 years. We were fighting for their financial future and lives. And when a door closed, somehow we found a window. And we kept moving. We kept going forward. And we found an answer. Well, I'm telling you, when you run a business and you've got employees, yes, you're an entrepreneur, you're an owner, but you're also a steward. Find an answer. Try to look, I've always said, to build a business, you got to be in business. And find a way to get through this, because let's say you've got a restaurant, when this is over, and it will be over, hopefully sooner rather than later, but we don't know. I guess the good Lord knows that answer right now. But when it's over, people are gonna pour out of their houses to go get something to eat and not be sitting there eating the same crap they went out and loaded up their pantry with to start this. Try to find an answer. And I realize it's gonna be hard. You gotta work every resource, what they're trying to do from the government. Try to find an answer to keep moving forward. Sir Winston Churchill told his generals when they were getting destroyed in the war that, and they were telling them, we're doing our best. He said, your best isn't good enough. We have to do what's necessary. And this is a time where all of us collectively, not just somebody in Washington or wherever, have to do what's necessary. So first, listen to what they're saying and take it seriously. Don't go out and think you're bulletproof and then you catch it and give it to a bunch of people. Listen to what they're saying. Stay calm. Stay calm and proact and react. This is a crazy time. And we're all a little afraid. But I've always told people, turn your fears into fuel. Turn your fears and doubts into what helps you say, I got to find an answer that leads to a better day in the future. But also have hope. Have hope. Be a hopeful person. There's optimists and there's pessimists. I've always just figured, being an optimist, a lot of people say, oh, you're just silly, you're just, being so. Well, guess what? Life's going to end for all of us one of these days, and I'd rather, be positive and looking for the best instead of always, going, oh, it's going to be worse than you can imagine. Don't be Pollyannic. But have hope, laugh, love, Have unity together. I realize we're having unity from a distance right now, but reach out to people with email. Reach out to people by the phone. Talk to people. And take care of the most fragile among us. Some people really need help right now. Find a way to help them. And then, when we have the all clear, when, like the air raid sirens go off, hit the ground running. Let's get the economy going. Let's get moving. Make things happen. There is a really great future. I don't know what everything's going to be like, but there will be. We have had many crises in the world, and somehow we get to them, get through them. And so, for all of you that, I see around the world and around the country and things or whatever, I would just close with saying, until we see each other again, may the good Lord hold you and your family in the palm of his hand. Take care, have courage, and we will get through this together. Thank you.